Hey, ¿qué pasa, amigos? Man, today is a great day. It is beautiful out, the sun's shining, a little bit of a breeze out. Today I'm going to try and go ahead and get the legs on this welding table so I can get this thing done and out of the way, and then we can move on to the welding cart. So I hope you'll stick around and join me. My name is Matt Walker and this is Sonnie's Place. So I'm going to go ahead and take a few measurements here, but to do that, I'm going to have to get this thing flipped over on its top, make it a lot easier. It looks like these legs are going to have to be 19 3/4 inches apart, 43 3/4 the long way. So we've got to figure out how tall we want to make it. I definitely want this to be probably about belly button size for me. Right now it's about the height of where you can get a pretty good crotch shot if you walk into the corner unexpectedly. So I definitely want to avoid that. So I'm going to try and raise it up probably, I'd say another 6 inches or so from where it is on the sawhorses. So we'll go ahead and get these cut on the bandsaw and start welding everything together. Screwed up big time on this project today. Everything went well. I mean, the welding went well. There was no issues. The bandsaw, I mean, everything was cut pretty much perfectly just to the specs that I wanted. But when I welded everything together, you'll notice in the video that I butted the cross piece right up against the end of the leg. And that is not what I wanted to do, because I want to put casters on this thing so that I can roll it around, and but I also want those casters to be retractable. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go check out Wesley Treat, the retractable casters that he did for his welding table. I'm not going to record mine. He did a fantastic job. I'm basically just going to copy what he did for my retractable casters. But when I welded the cross piece, I didn't leave room for those casters. So I had to get my grinder out, cut everything that I welded, clean all of the welds off of the end of the square tubing. That was about a 45-minute mistake, and I'm kind of beat up from using the grinder. So I'm gonna call it a night. I will be right back here tomorrow evening, and we'll finish this thing off. Well, as I'm starting to get used to, there's some welds that I'm proud of and some I wish I could have back. So I'm going to take the grinder to this thing before I actually connect it to the upper part of the table, and hopefully we'll make it look a little bit better. The old Dremel. This was a awesome Christmas gift from my sister-in-law that I've never really used. I'll try and get this thing together and see what happens. I don't know what I'm doing at all. That's helpful. So I guess I need to get a heavier duty, some heavy duty Dremel wheels. That just isn't working. That's gonna take some work to get off. I'll deal with that later. I'm just gonna take a cutting wheel and notch out the tops of the legs to get around these welds, which didn't really want to do that, but looks like I'm not going to have much of a choice. So I'll go ahead and get my grinder set up with a cutting wheel, and we'll go ahead and cut some grooves in the tops of the legs, and that ought to get us around the welds. So not the greatest solution, but it's a solution. really bright sunset. So I think we're at a point now where we can actually put the top on. So I'm gonna flip it over and try it one more time. That didn't work. I'm kind of at a loss. I think, well, those welded beads are just in the way. There's just no getting around it. I think what I'll probably do now is I'll go ahead and cut maybe ½ inch off of the legs to just make it even where I cut those notches out. So I'm just going to shim them up like ½ inch to get them out of the way of those beads, and then just weld them to the frame like I planned on doing. I'm going to do that. I'm going to go ahead and cut the tops of the legs flush again, and sand them down nice and smooth, measure them, make sure they're still all the same height, and then I'll figure something out. Maybe I'll just cut like a ½ inch piece of 2x4 piece of wood, just cut a little ½ inch off on the table saw, and four pieces of that. Shim those legs up. I wish I'd done that in the first place now, but go ahead and shim those up, weld it to the frame, and then I think it'll be good to go. Let's get started. 2x4 would be great. A lot of 1x. There we go. See what 10 degrees gets us. Try and get it in focus for you. I don't know if you can see that little piece of melted steel right there on the tip of my nozzle here. Whenever you're grinding something or sanding it down with a flat disc, always keep your mouth closed. I think that's actually melted down into the nozzle, so I'm going to go ahead and get a new one here. Yeah, there we go. I think we're all right. I'll go ahead and clean this guy out. Actually, pretty gunky in there. Better. I can live with that. And just for grins, I'm going to go ahead and dip this into some nozzle gel. Try and keep it a little clean. I think we're back in business. Alright, we got this spot welded. I think I'm going to put it on the floor, roll it on its side, so I can get some good welds in there. And then I think I'm gonna have a table. A welding table. This is awesome. I like this height a lot. This is fantastic. A little wobbly, but I am 78% sure it's because of my floor and not because of the actual table. They did a pretty good job of measuring the legs out and everything, but I am going to get some leveling feet on it, hopefully sooner than later. So, but anyway, go ahead and tack this guy, or go ahead and finish the welds on it, and we can call this thing good. Last of the welds. That's hot there. All right, so here we go. Everything's all welded up. Everything turned out really great. Really happy with it. Everything's good and square. All the measurements work out really well. The feet are, I measured diagonally when I had it upside down. I didn't actually show that on video, I don't think. But I measured it when it was upside down, measured it diagonally, everything came out square. And so I'm really happy with that. The only thing that is a little off, you can tell it's a little shaky, but I'm 95% sure that's just because the concrete is not quite level. I measured everything out, measured the length of the legs right before I welded them all up. You saw me do that. I think you probably saw me fight with the tape measure a little bit. It's a little bit tenacious, but overall I'm really happy with it. We also ran into some hiccups here and there, but we worked through those. I'm really happy with that. That actually kind of makes it a little bit more fun. You know, those little mistakes that you make and those things that you don't quite take into account, they're annoying at the time and they're really, really frustrating. But if you take the time to work through them, then it actually makes you feel a lot better whenever you're finished. You know, you're actually able to do some problem solving, and so yeah, so it's a good feeling whenever it all comes together. So anyway, really happy with it. I hope you enjoyed it. I did want to show you one quick thing before I sign off, and you probably saw me working with this little piece of equipment here. This is a square from a company called Fireball Tool, and they're not paying me, they're not a sponsor of the channel, nothing like that. I don't know the guys at all. They seem like good dudes. Jason, I think, is the guy that runs Fireball Tool, and but anyway, they make a lot of stuff like this to really help you with your projects. They have this kind of a square, which will allow you to do 90 degrees. It'll let you do a 45 degree. It'll let you do kind of 45 degree here on the inside as well. So this is actually really versatile little piece of equipment. They also have triangle squares that are very, very similar to this. They have them in both aluminum and cast iron, and they have them in a larger size as well. And they have all different kinds of stuff. If you want to check out their website, they have a really, really cool shim kit. It's basically just a bunch of magnetic shims that I wish I had when I was welding up the legs earlier onto the table. But anyway, like I said, they're not paying me to say this. These are really, really cool little pieces of equipment. They really, really help you with your build. Make sure you get everything square and everything set up right. So, but anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there. This is the only product from Fireball Tool that I actually have. I absolutely love it. I can't wait to buy more of their stuff. I can't really afford it right now, but eventually I hope to have the triangle square as well as the larger size ones as well. But anyway, I just wanted to show you guys that, and in case you were wondering what I was using to square everything up
before I was actually putting my beads on, and that's that. This is that. Fireball tool, I think it's fireballtool.com, and then they also have a YouTube channel where Jason has some tips and tricks and shows you how to use these things to get really good square welds and that sort of thing. I think that's about everything for today. Anyway, I really appreciate you guys coming along for the journey. This has been a really fun project. I hope you all enjoyed it. So we're gonna go ahead and call it a day. Hope you all have a great one. Have a really good weekend, and we will see you back hopefully next time. So I'm Matt Walker. This is Sonnie's Place. Adios.